On a scale of 1 to 10, you're definitely an 8. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're definitely a 9. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am definitely a minus 453. Stop. Stop. I plead you to stop. I see your eyes glazed over with confusion trying to take in everything. But did he stop? Did he stop when she prayed, when she cried, when her face was marked with fear, sweating, when tears dripped down her cheeks, when her heart was pounding like a child who just woken up from a nightmare, only she woke up to realize that this nightmare had just begun? Did he stop? Did he take everything in? His eyes were glazed over with lust, and his body was a robot without any honest thought, without emotion, but his movements were fluid. But did he stop on that night when an intense frigidness had encapsulated the world, stemming from the raw seeds of bitter chills that rested in the cavity behind the third and fourth coastal cartilages of his chest, blooming much like a flower but devoid of beauty? Did he stop when she cried, when she prayed? No. No. Picture this, let the brush of your mind paint you an image with a burning stirring in his loins, with a sneer on his face, with veins pulsing through his skin like cloth pulled tightly around a table edge. He moved in. He had painted a mental target, and as he drew in closer like an arrow, quicker than the eye could convey to the brain, he could already feel the cheering of the white millions and the satisfaction, filled to the brim with lust like a drunkard in a bar with foam pouring from his lips because he had more alcohol in him than water, except the alcohol here was replaced with hormones and a sick passion. He moved further in. And we guys say that we would never do that. But every once in a while we're overcome with a passion not strong enough to entice us physically, but we rape them with the tools that can be used to solve the most complex equation perceivable, but instead we use it to strip down a woman to her bare naked self we imagine. And the basis for all this? Beauty, sexiness, and girls do it too. But then we wouldn't do that to all girls, and girls wouldn't do that to all guys. Oh hell no. We have standards. Oh yes, we have standards. Leagues we call them. Made up by some bored, prissy dunderhead who thought there should be leagues for beauty like there are in football, scales from 1 to 10, and if we feel that we're turned on further than a light switch would ever go when you flick it, 11. Expectations we have. A guy must be manly, strong, muscular. What is manly? You look up the dictionary, it'll tell you, having characteristics associated with men, courage, strength, and spirit. But damn, if you're a thin chap like me, you're as manly as you would call an ice cream hot. And a woman can't have strength or spirit or courage? I fail to believe that. Much like I fail to believe that a girl has to be proper, dressed up, ladylike, decorous, well-bred like a pure-breed horse raised with the utmost care and the most proper and sophisticated equipment. We reduce our counterparts to sex objects. We classify based on how they satisfy us mentally and physically, so that we can define what gets us on sexually, so that we can feel the burning sensation of pleasure that stirs us with warmth that pushes us for more, at the expense of reducing those who are more human than us to mere supplies of carnal gratification. Because the true whore is us. Classify, but clarify, someone justify this. Because in the end, it comes down to what's on the inside rather than the looks. You're going to grow old, wrinkly as paper left in a puddle, thin and transparent with nothing to look at. Classify, but clarify and justify this. We need to wake up, see that what we think is, isn't, much like when we wake up from a dream. But this time when a girl wakes up, it should be to the embrace of her parents, rubbing her hand and kissing her forehead, not to the sick, lusting monster that we dare call a person, a human being. And if a girl's heart goes out to you, she's not asking you to hold her breast. Hug her, don't strangle her, protect her, don't take advantage of her. I don't say protect her because she's weak, I say this because other people are weak. You've seen it on the news. Love her, don't lust her, respect her. And don't you dare tell me that she had it coming. She was beautiful, so she had it coming. No, it's because we are ugly. God damn, we are ugly. Our hearts are blacker than the ashes of a burnt out fire. Our hearts are twisted, contorted objects of disgust. It's because we are ugly, not because she's beautiful. It's because our hearts are ugly. I don't want to live in a world where my mother, my sister, my cousins, my aunts, my grandmothers, my friends, my loves have to live in fear. They might as well stay up in heaven because that's where they belong. They're safer there. If we live in a world where we judge books by their covers, we live in a world of beautifully bound blank pages. If we live in a world where women are treated as objects, we live in a world where we have no right to live. If we live in a world of pretty faces, we live in a world of pretty monsters. Keep the scale from 1 to 10. Tell me this. Keep the scale from 1 to 10, but tell me this. On a scale of 1 to 10, if you stripped yourself down to your personality, how beautiful are you?